Well, hello, folks. This is going to be a little bit of an experiment because I am trying to make a Numenera Glaive using the Cipher System Character Builder. Now, this is technically not stuff that's included inside the Cipher System Character Builder, but I've had friends in my campaign who have used this to make their characters and actually now use the character builder as their sheet because most of the stuff is already in there. It might just have a slightly different name in Cipher System in general. And what's not in there, you can kind of create on your own. So I figured I'd try it out. So I've already started out a little bit. So this is blank character right now. Great name. Murder Fire 13B is actually the name of the group in my campaign at the moment. There's a long story behind that. And I've given him the descriptor Swift. Oh, hey, your trumpet, how are you? Why are you giving me a membership to myself? Oh, he gave it to me. How are you, sir? You get to the next one. Oh, Coco B Gorilla. Hey, you got a gift membership. And Twisted Mage, how are you doing? I saw that you were under the weather. I'm doing okay. Anyway, so I'm trying to do this. So I have the Swift descriptor is what I've given him. We're going to put those values in just a second. I gave him the character type Glaive, which did not save the first time. And I haven't given him a focus yet. So let's save these things right now. I want to see. And it also didn't save his pool. Oh, no. So he's got Glaive start with a pool, might of 11, speed of 10, and intellect of 7. So that's where they start. I haven't put the stuff in for speed yet. That's going to change it, or swift is what I put. But let me save this really quick so I don't lose any of the other stuff. And how this works, I'm not going to probably not gonna get to finish this tonight because I want to get over to Paige's Friday Night Live, but I wanted to show it off and see if I could do this. And I thought maybe some folks would like to hang out with me for a bit. Fever hit me like a sack of bricks. Oh, Mage, I'm so sorry, man. There's a lot going around. It's not a fun day. So this is a blank character, is a tier 1 Swift Glaive played by Wes. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna go back down to edit. This is one thing I don't like about having a blank sheet. This is the first time I've tried to do this. How would you sell Numenera to a new player? It is science fantasy. It is not post-apocalyptic science fantasy. It's like beyond the collapse of civilization. Something new has formed, but there's so much that's unknown. And basically, there's been so this is the ninth world. There's been 8 civilizations. At least the theory is that there's been 8 civilizations before the ninth world, and all their junk is still around and nobody knows what it is. Most people live at about a medieval level of technology, but they're used to things like having little hover carts and things like that. And they just call the stuff Numenera. They don't know how it works. They just know that it does. And a lot of Numenera is about going and exploring and just experiencing the weirdness of this world, which is really amazing. So, hey, Dave, how are you? So this is a Swift character. So one of the things the Swift character is going to do is get +4 to the speed pool. I don't like having to scroll, so they're going to end up with 14 speed. I still haven't adjusted my ability scores from being a Glaive. We'll get to that in a second, too. And that's where we are right now. And now I'm going to do the stuff that they're trained at. So we're going to go to save the character. Post-apocalyptic science fantasy exploration heavy game. Yeah, it's not necessarily exploration. There's no mechanics of it. Although I do have a book on traveling in the ninth world, which does add some of that. So now we're going to add the skills. So they have initiative, and I actually saw that in my the edit the character. So I'm going to do that in a second. Trained in running actions. Skill trained. So we'll save that. Why did I go back up like that? And then we'll add another one. And they're trained in inability. They're fast but clumsy, not graceful. Inability. So it's hindered any task involving So they're really fast, but they fall on their face really, really easily. It's kind of cool. There we go. We'll save that. And I did see that initiative was part of this thing. So let me find it real quick. Initiative, intellect defense. Sorry, that was what I missed. Initiative. We're trained in initiative. Making sure that's there. What I got there on my page. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, folks. You're trained in initiative. Actions go to determine who goes first in combat. Yep, I'm there. Very good. Okay, let's save the character again. All right, so we still got that. I still need to do my my focus. So if you don't know anything about science fantasy, or I mean science fantasy, about the cipher system, is your character is a sentence. I am an adjective, noun, who, verb. So my noun is the glaive. That's akin to the basically the class. And then my descriptor is swift, and then you have a focus, which is like one thing that gives you something really cool. So the descriptor gives you a bonus right at the start, and then your focus can grow over time. So I haven't gotten to any focuses yet. So let's see. I'm going to go over here. So he's swift. I always like master's weaponry. This is all going to be simplified in the new version of Cypher coming out, by the way. So this is kind of the old version. Hello, Mr. Allen. Hey, Skillum. Mr. Allen, we're being so formal. My official title would be Reverend if you really want to be official. Want to be formal, I should say. Although that's technically, did you know that Reverend is technically a written title? It is not supposed to be spoken. Nobody pays attention to that anymore. So, do I want... No, I don't want master's weapons. That's no fun. It is fun, but I just don't want to do that. Hunts? Nah. Fights with panache. So I'd swift and be able to fight with panache. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? That would be neat. So you know that style is at least as important as substance. Defeating foes is secondary to looking good while doing it. That would actually be kind of fun. So you begin with a set of extremely yeah, I can talk. Extremely stylish clothes. Where's my mouse? No, I don't want to edit money. I want to edit equipment. Cancel. Edit. There we go. Extremely stylish clothes. I cannot speak tonight. What else do I start with? Fights with panache. And a jeweled weapon. Ooh. We're going to figure out what that is in a little bit. Minor effect suggestions. I'm not going to worry about that. Major effects, not. Okay, tier 1. I have an attack flourish. With your attack, you add stylish moves, entertaining quips, or a certain something that entertains or impresses others. One creature you choose within short range who can see you gains an asset to its next task if taken within a round or two. Oh, that's kind of cool. So we're going to add special abilities here. Name, attack flourish. And there it goes. It adds it in. And I need to add in the time. So, I'll summarize it. Charismatic attack. What does I say? Eases. Yeah. Gives an asset. That's very important to call it an asset. I'll tell you why in a second. To one creature within short range. I guess I should spell that right. I cannot spell. You know how when you move the keyboard just a little bit to make room for something and suddenly you can't type? That's kind of where I am right now. And that is just an enabler. So the reason why this is called an asset, because there's ways that you can adjust people's ability scores or people's night, Dave. Good luck waking up early. Definitely a not are you not entertained type of move. So, but the way that you can adjust your fellow characters' ability scores is that essentially certain things can ease attacks, and you can have a whole number of like a whole slew of things that can ease attacks. But a character's only ever allowed to have two assets given to them. So if they're using a tool, a specific tool for something, that gives them an asset. If somebody helps them on an attack, that gives them an asset. So normally when you're doing an assist, you're still going to roll dice because you have to succeed and you're going to describe what your action is. So it's not like a wasted turn. It's not like in 5e you're like, well, can I say I'm helping them and give them advantage? Sure. And now I don't roll dice. In Cypher system, usually when you give an assist, you describe how you're doing it and then you roll the dice to see if you succeed. So you're still involved in the roll or in the round. So what this cool thing with Attack Flourish does is, and it's just an enabler, so I don't have to spend points or anything for it. It just happens. I'm going to do a huge quip about what I'm doing, and I do my attack. And if it succeeds, I give an asset. So I've helped another person uh, with their next attack, and I didn't even have to waste my attack. Like I still get to do damage per minute that round. So that's kind of cool, actually. I kind of like that. So that's my attack one ability. That's everything you get from Fights with Panache. Also, your that's where your brain got it from Masked Balls. So, by the way, I play tested Masked Balls last night with Dave, and this is going to be a killer game. So, also, Dave, aren't you going to bed? So, your focus also gives you your connection to the group. I'm not going to go into all of that right now. I guess I could. All right, somebody on chat, I'm gonna have to wait for 10 seconds and I'll talk. Roll me a D4. Just roll me a D4 and tell me what it is. Hey, Chris. Thanks for everybody coming on. And I just popped on thinking I'd just be on for a few minutes, and we got 5 people watching. It's kind of fun. I have this mic on, so if you hear me swallowing, that's what it is. All right, Chris got it first. So 4. So my connection is pick one other PC. This character is so enamored of your swashbuckling, entertaining ways during combat that they sometimes forget to take their own action. Let me see if I can just copy and paste this over from my iPad. I love everything about that. There it goes. Save that background connection. There we go. So that's the connection. So I have to pick one of the PCs and get through. Mage, if you had done it on 2, pick one other PC. This character seems to anticipate your next move almost before you even begin it. When they collaborate with you on the same task or fight the same foe, you gain an asset on the task. So that's really cool. 6 now. Hey, how you doing, Eric? Let me widen this out because your comments are getting clipped in the stream. I made it a little bit too short or too narrow. There we go. Now everybody's there. And my royal court. Eric, it's so good to have you here. All right, so I'm going to go back to Glaive now. This is the thing about Cypher System character creation that's eased a lot in the character creation tool that they have on the website. And I'm hoping that they add the Numenera stuff in as the update to Numenera comes out. But there's a lot of page flipping. And in Numenera, there's a lot of page flipping. It's also not as many options in Numenera as there is in Cypher System, which has been expanded for like every genre on the planet. But there's a lot of page flipping. So I had the PDF here so and I have bookmarks that I can jump through, but then I got to figure out where I was in the step. And that's the only thing I don't like about Numenera character creation, because it's actually really fun. It's just a lot of flipping through. And what I know from the version that's coming out is they've streamlined that a lot. So you're not doing that. Now I'm going to this chapter, I'm going to go to this chapter, and go to this chapter. And then advancement is crazy because you have to remember that your focus goes up and it's a bit of page. Don't flip those pages off. They get mad at you. Very good, Eric. It's there. You are definitely here now. Summer colds do suck. That's right. Summer colds. I'm going, why summer? Oh, that's why summer. Summer colds do suck. Winter colds also suck. I had one of those and I lost my voice for the better part of 2 weeks, which was not good. All right. So 2 ciphers at a time. I am trained in armor. So I'm going to go to skills. Armor trained. I'm not practiced, I'm trained. Basically, that means I don't. So where does it say? Trained in armor, you can wear an armor for longer periods of time and can compensate for slowed reactions from wearing armor. You reduce the speed, effort, cost, or wearing armor by 1 enabler. Very good. I can use any weapon without penalty. Yes. And I get to choose one of the following skills in which you aren't already trained. Balancing, climbing, jumping, swimming. You are trained in this skill. So now if I wanted to do min-maxing and I wanted to take away the negative part of being swift, I could actually cancel out that I have an inability in balancing and say I'm just basically practiced in it, which means that it's not going to give me a bonus at all, instead of having it shifted by 1, which is not a good thing. So anytime you see inability or asset or eased, so an inability means that the target level for your task is going to go up by 1. So in Cipher System, everything goes from level 0 all the way up to level 10. And the way that you get to your target number on a D20 is that you take the level and you multiply it by 3. If you are paying attention and know basic math, you realize that there's a problem with the equation, because as soon as you get above a level 6, you cannot actually technically do that task. And that's where assets come in. So like I do so say there's a level 7 creature and I attack it. And for some strange reason, with all the calculations to do, all the manipulations, I succeed. So I succeed, and there's a guy that's next to me in melee, and he's going, "Wow, I just love the fact that he did that three, uh, round off back handspring and stabbed it in the gut. And I'm going to be eased, or I'm going to have an acid in my attack." So automatically, he goes from having a level 7, and it goes down to a level 6. So suddenly now I need to roll an 18 to hit. So that's kind of how the math works. The crunch in Cipher System is all done before your roll. So your roll is just it. And essentially, anytime that you see something is eased or hindered, it's essentially a +3 to the task if we were doing it the other way. So if I wanted to, I could flatten out that inability with balancing and fix it. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to cheat. But his glaive training, so there we go. So instead of inability, now it's just going to be practiced. And there's no such thing as practiced in Numenera. That's a Cipher System thing. And in Numenera itself, it's just your specialized trained or inability. There's none of this. Practice thing is something that you have access to, but doesn't change your role at all yet. So we're just going to use that as a baseline for this. So he's not graceful, but he has practiced. Pretty good. I love that you guys are all talking. So South America, summer is here, and yes, winter colds suck too. My family drops like chickens when winter comes. Yeah, it's not a good time, Mage. And thank you for coming on. I'm glad you're feeling better. So trained in armor, weapons using physical skills, we've done that. Starting equipment, you start with clothing, 2 weapons, or 1 weapon and a shield. So I already have a jeweled weapon, I can get another weapon. Light or medium armor. So we're going to just do medium armor. Oh, it didn't save my equipment. Let's go back. So let's give him spear, dagger, and we'll give him medium armor. We can link that. Let's give him a jeweled sword, shall we? Maybe he thinks it's Numenera and it's not. That would be kind of fun. Starting equipment, explorer's pack, 2 ciphers. We'll do those later. Explorer's pack has like your let's see. It has your rope. It's got rations. And there's like your sleeping pack. That's the kind of thing that it has in it. I think maybe it has a light globe too. And 5 shins that you start with. Nah, I'm going to start. Okay, so we do that. All right, so I'm going to save the equipment here. Armor. So I'm going to go with medium armor. So that reduces my damage that incomes by 2. So we'll have that right there. And if you look down here, let me see if I can zoom in. So this is rules help. So this is what it's talking about, how I'm trained in armor, so it gets reduced. So with medium armor, I am experienced or trained. They're trained in any armor. So if I was wearing light armor, it would like a speed cost to doing effort. We'll talk about that in a second. Would be reduced down to 0. Medium armor, I have to do a little bit more. I have to add 1 speed point to do anything. But I'm fast, so that's okay. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. Default starting cipher and oddity. I'll do that in a second. Fighting moves. You have a special talent for combat and can perform feats that others can barely imagine. So at first level, I can do 2 of the fighting moves that are described. So let's see. Lot of rain. Lot of rain. Yeah, you're in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon. You just get rain all the time. So do I want to make him aggressive? He is swift. Fleet of foot is a nice one. So I can't stand snow. You guys are having fun. You talk about your weather. So fleet of foot is cool because in Cipher System, you're really limited in you have range bands, and if you're not in immediate range, which I think is within like 10 feet, you can't move and attack in the same turn. I do everything theater of the mind, so a lot of times we hand wave that, but it is nice to, you can move like to an ambush and attack somebody really quick. So fleet of foot cost me 1 speed point or 2 speed points. No, I'm not using effort, so 1 speed point. To move a short distance as part of another action, so you can move a long distance as your entire action. If you apply a level of effort, you can move a long distance and make an attack. So I can go like 2 range bands and still get an attack in if I put effort into it. So I think I'm actually going to do that. I like that. And that's actually for the glaives in my Numenera table. That's one of their favorite things. And I'll copy this. See if it lets me paste it in. It did. Yay. It's coming from speed. And cost is 1 plus. There we go. Fleet of feet. Yeah, fleet of foot. Yeah. I can do an impressive display. I don't like that one. Misdirect. When an opponent misses you, you can redirect their attack to another target. I do fight with panache. That's kind of cool. Like the stream. Yeah, everybody like the stream. That would be nice. On a zone-based combat, I always use a chessboard with marker lines. It works well. I never use minis. We just do theater of the mind. That's not a bad idea. So misdirect. When an opponent misses you, you can redirect their attack to another target, a creature or an object of your choosing that's right within immediate range of you. Make an unmodified attack roll against the new target. Do not use any of your opponent's modifiers to attack roll, but you can apply effort for accuracy. If the attack hits, the target takes damage from your opponent's attack. Man, if you are fighting a big monster and you just make them take out like one of their allies, that would be really, really cool. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do misdirect. I think that'd be kind of fun for a character who fights with panache and is constantly giving people charismatic moments. Be like, we can win this. Misdirect. There it is. And I'll copy that in. Now, if I was doing just a cipher system character, this would be so much faster because it guides you through and says, here, pick this, pick this, pick this. But I am not picking this, and it costs 3 out of speed. I can't do that all the time, but I definitely can do it. Fleet of Feet, a new spell in Elden Ring, and a favorite of Miyazaki himself. Oh, cool. All right, so I got those special abilities that are coming in. Let's see what else I got to do. I can do a glaive connection. So somebody roll me a d20 really quick. I will wait. And thank you, everybody, for being here. This is kind of fun. It really is. I'm going to have to get out of here. 19. Ooh, hi. Ooh. So here's my background. I'll copy it in really quick. Background, edit. You save the lives of family. When their house burned down, they're indebted to you, and their neighbors regard you as a hero. Isn't misdirect the job of politicians? Sigh. Just deep sigh. I just need Eric. I need the rubber chicken, man. You gotta make Greenland the RPG just so I can smack US government officials with a rubber chicken. Metaphorically in the game, just in case Homeland Security is watching and wants to like knock down my door without a warrant. Not that that's happening anywhere. We'll get off that now. Okay. Anyway, so I got to do starting cipher. Damn, I rolled an 11. What's an 11? Let's see what everybody else got. So you rolled an 11, Mage. Let's see what you got. Your older sibling is an infamous glaive who has been disgraced. That also would be kind of fun. So let me just do random. Are you sure you want to add 2 random ciphers? Yes, because I don't have my cipher deck out and I don't feel like copying them right now. Although I guess I could do it from here. You know what? Hold on a second. Let's find ciphers because I can just do it, copy it from the book, right? Why not? Because there is a chart in here for ciphers. Okay. All right. Somebody roll me. Actually, Eric, you already rolled a D100 because you got a 44. So I'm going to pick that as the first one. So, oh, look at that. First one, intellect enhancement. Why wouldn't it let me add a cipher? Oh, because I'm clicking. I'm like, why wouldn't it let me add a cipher? It's because I'm clicking on the window in my screen share. I'm not clicking on the actual thing. Intelligence enhancement. So basically an intellect enhancement. All right, so let's find out what that is. Now I got to scroll to it. That's the big problem. Intellect enhancement. So it's going to be level 1d6 plus 2. Somebody roll me a d6. Let's see. Anybody wants to roll a d6? Roll me a d6, man. 3. Thank you. So it's a level 5. Cool. Sometimes with ciphers, I don't know why I need a level because it doesn't make any sense. So this substance adds 1 to intellect edge for 1 hour or adds 2 if the cipher is level 5 or higher. Well, that makes sense. So I get level 2 for intellect edge. I'll talk about edge in a little bit. A form. Let's see what it says here. Let's make it a pill. Kind of fun. And I like that a lot. Very good. Okay, so we're going to save that. Nice, 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 nice. Very good. All right, somebody else, roll me a D100, please. This is kind of easy. It's not as easy if I was doing a guided. Someday I'll just show you guys the guided form of this. And you'll see that it's very, very nice, actually. Now I have, these are the basic ciphers from the book. I have 2 cipher decks that people got me. And one of the ciphers that I got was so weird because one of my characters wants to die. And the reason why is because this cipher will auto activate when he dies and just basically drag his body out of combat and rebuild him and bring him back to life. Chris went first at 76. That is a shock nodule. So let's see what that does. So these are kind of like the basic one. And they're still weird, but they're still basic. So shock nodule. Here's the description. Someone roll me a d6, please. How hard is it to build a character game without any digital tools? It's not hard. It just takes a little bit. Also a level 5. Thanks, guys. It'll get easier in the next one. So for the next 28 hours, each time the weapon the nodule is attached to strikes a solid creature or object, it generates a burst of electricity, inflicting 1 additional point of damage or 2 points if the cipher is 4 or higher, 3 points if the cipher is 6 or higher. So we get 2 extra points of damage for that if we use it. So ciphers in this game are essentially single-use magic items, and you're meant to use them because literally the system is the cipher system. And because Numenera and the new world of Numenera is just basically pervading everything, essentially these ciphers, these little bits of technology, are like ingrained, ingested into people, or the creatures hoard them kind of as cash, and so you're constantly re-giving out ciphers. The whole point is to use them to see what they kind of look like, and that's basically it. I do have to do attacks. I'm going to work on that a little later because I got to get to somewhere else right now. But this is not a bad start. Let's give the glaive a name quick. Jack. Call him Jack Blackthorn. There we go. Cool. All right, we're going to save this. So I've got a couple things I need to finish out. I do need to put in my attacks, which means I need to look at my equipment. I do want to get on to Friday Night Live for Paige, but I want to do this too because this is fun. Character type, 1 description, 1 focus, equipment. There we go, 93. I also have to put my 5 shins in. Somebody remind me to do that. So we've got medium armor. So we're just going to give him a brigandine. So that's what we're going to call the medium armor. No, don't do that. There we go. And you know what? I'm just going to call it a synth because you can see like equipment. It's not like, I got to keep track of all my equipment in this game. It's not how this works. It's like, hey, you start with this. I have medium armor. And so I just want to call it a synth brigandine to let people know that it's not just made out of like metal, but it's still just medium armor. Doesn't really matter. And I got a jeweled sword. So I believe that is going to be a medium weapon. Let me see here. Medium. Javelin, polearm, spear is medium. Sword staff is heavy. I don't necessarily want to do a heavy weapon. Battle axe bow. Broadsword. Yep. So jeweled sword. Light weapon. Spear is going to be a medium weapon. And dagger is light. There we go. Very, very good. So like a spear, you can throw it up to long range. So that's kind of a nice thing. And it's still a medium weapon. A dagger is a light weapon. It only does 2 points of damage, but all your attacks with it are eased. And so you can throw a level of effort in. We'll talk about that in a second. And you can do more damage. Really, really fun stuff. And really cool. So let me save equipment there. So I am going to put in, so he's going to get +1 damage to melee attacks. So we're going to go attacks here. Let's add 1. And I'm in skills. Cancel. Attacks. Add an attack. There we go. Jeweled sword. Type is medium. Damage is going to be medium weapons do 3, so this is going to do 4 points of damage. This will do 5. Skill. They are trained in all weapons. Trained. Well, you can practice in all weapons. They don't have any penalties. Pool will come from might. That's if I'm going to put more effort into it because I'm swinging a sword. This is not a light weapon. It's going to be might. Don't really need cost. Distance is immediate. Modification task. Okay, let's get that. Save the sword. Jeweled sword. Let's add the dagger. No, I don't have the... It's just not worried about me being equipped with it, but that's fine. Dagger light damage is going to be 3 because I'm +1 to all melee weapons. Skill is practiced. Pool is going to be for light weapon. You can choose speed. And distance is going to be immediate. I don't think it lets you throw a dagger in this game, does it? Can be thrown up to short range. I'll put a note in there. So okay, a mod is going to be eased. So, hindered. Yeah, easing the distance would be -1. So this is counterintuitive. So eased, I want a negative modifier there because it's lowering the level of my attack. It's a little weird. So there's the dagger. Let's add the spear. Type is medium. Damage is gonna be 5. He is practiced. Pull is definitely might. Description. Can throw long range. So I'm going to change that. So otherwise immediate range. No modifications for that, and I'm going to save it. Don't worry about cost. I do not care. And he's got 3 attacks that he can choose from. And let's give him his money. Edit. 5. Because he's got 5 chins. Armor is 2 because he's got the synth brigandine. Okay, so I've been talking a little bit about effort. So what you see is here, I am tier 1, similar to level 1, but not the same thing. And effort. So effort is that oomph you can push into something in order to accomplish. Like in a moment where you're really, really stressed, you have to make sure that you succeed. Like when the big dragon has got his tail swinging over your head and you need to dodge it because you roll all the dice in this game. GMs only tell you what's happening. It's your luck with the dice that's going to determine whether or not get hit. So the dragon's swinging you, and you really do not want to get hit by the dragon. Not something you are interested in doing because you think that would hurt. And so you're going to say, I'm definitely going to be dodging out of the way, and I am going to put in a level of effort. So my effort number is 1, which means I can only apply 1 level of effort to anything, to any one action. As I go up in tiers, that will increase. So I think my characters right now at my table, a lot of them are like they have 3 effort they can throw into things, which is a little bit unfair, but I'll just throw bigger and badder things at them. And so when you do that, you spend literal points from your speed pool. So my pool max is 14. So if I want to do a level of effort, my first level of effort costs 3 speed points plus the 1 point because I have medium armor. So I'd have to take 4 points out of my speed pool in order to add effort into that dodge. And then that would take, so say the dragon is a level 6 creature, but its tail is a little bit clumsy, so it swoops with its tail at a level 5, right? That's a 15 or higher to hit. That doesn't feel too good. I'm going to throw a level of effort into it. I'm going to bring that down to a level 4. needing to hit 12 feels a lot better than needing to hit a 15 in order to succeed. And you roll the die and you see if you actually do that. Do I have dice on here? I only have them for recovery rolls. It's kind of a pain in the neck. And so that's essentially how that works. Now, this number here, actually, I would be 3 because edge is the reduction of any effort of using your pool. So what you do is you add up all the total. So for me, that would have been 4, 3 for the first level of effort, 1 because I'm wearing medium armor, and then my edge would knock off 1 point. You can only apply edge to one action that you're taking, so that pushes it down to 3. So I really have 11 speed points left. That's basically it. I do have one last thing I need to do for the glaive, which I can't believe I forgot to do, which is I have 6 additional points to divide among my stats pool however I want. So my speed is 14. My might is 11. My intellect is 7. So basically, I'm going to put 4 in might. No, I'll put 5 in might. I'll put 1 in speed. So might is important because, again, if I want to use my sword and I want to put effort in to hit this sucker, then I am going to, coffin down. I'm taking 3 might points off for my first level of effort. But then I hit, and then the dragon claws me for 6 points of damage. Now that gets reduced to 4 because I have armor on, but those 4 points of damage also come out of might. So I want to have more might when I get bigger. And so you're using your strength in order to activate a lot of these abilities. And this is one of the things that people get very iffy about when they're looking at Cypher System for the first time. I can tell you right now that my characters love it. I had this up to 16, right? I need to change that pool. They really like it. But I will say is that they've changed this in the new version of Cypher that is coming out, to where now they've gone to a wound system, which I think is actually going to work out better in the long run, but it'll be a little bit different. Damage is going to be handled different. So you're not necessarily using your health in order to activate your abilities. You're just getting depleted as resource management. So it's not playing double duty anymore. We'll see if people actually like it when they change it. But now with those character attributes that are added in, I do believe this character is pretty much done. So I can PDF this off and I'll get it ready to put on my Discord server for the day Numenera comes. I actually skipped because I was supposed to, my next one in line was going to be Coriolis the Great Dark, but I haven't even opened that book yet, so we'll see. And yeah, it is, this game is not hard. It's just page flipping. It's page flipping and just making sure you're reading the data. This is one of the things that Monty Cook does really, really well, in that they have wonderful essays. The writing in a lot of Monty Cook's books is really wonderful. Sometimes it's very verbose. And that's not a critique because their essays on how to run the game and the description of the world and their lore building is top notch. It's really, really good. Their descriptions of the connections for characters, really, really good. They encourage you to think about how your character advances, so it's not just mechanical. That's all really, really good. The problem is that when you're going through the process of building a character and you're flipping through all the pages, sometimes that extra text feels like it gets in the way. And that's one of the things that they are improving in the new version of Cypher, which I can appreciate. Because I never thought that this was a hard process. I just thought because of the page flipping, it was more time consuming than it needed to be. But it's fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun making this character, especially because I had the PDF already bookmarked, so it's not hard for me to flip around. If I'm using the physical paper, it takes a long time. And that's basically how that works. So I'm kind of excited by this. He's going to be a fun glaive. So Jack Blackthorn is a tier 1 Swift glaive played by DM Tales. Now I just have to find a Numenera game where I can play it. So And their genre book, Neon Rain, if you're a fan of cyberpunk, is awesome. You know what? I have not read that one yet. I think I got it as part of the last backer kit that they did. I have to check. I have basically every other white book as at least a PDF at this point. And Shadowmane is bringing me Gunslinger Knights and is going to let me have his copy of that. And I'm really looking forward to that because that setting just looks wild. So yeah, looking forward to it. That's all that I got. I'm glad that you guys all wanted to hang out with me tonight. That was a lot of fun. Really did. And Reading Aid, thanks for showing up, man. Good to have you here. So I have Paige next week. I will tell you, I finished editing my first part of my Star Trek Adventures review. I recorded it this morning. I am going to do my absolute best to edit it over the weekend. It's going to be like 28 minutes long, and it's part one because there's just a lot. And I have to throw in all the Star Trek quips because it's Star Trek, and that's my thing. And I'm going to do part two after that, which is written. It's a lot shorter, and that's going to cover the book design, the layout. I do have a couple of critiques of the organization of Star Trek Adventures, very minor things. Basically spend the entire time complimenting how cool it looks. And then just some final conclusions on the game. So that'll be part two. We've not filmed that one yet. I don't know when I'm going to. Star Trek Adventures, I hope will get up on the channel before Paige. I'm hoping. So we shall see. When is my month for my index card RPG? You know what? Let me look, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Monte Cook games. Someone had asked if Cipher System is my favorite game. Kind of a toss-up at this point between Cipher System and Dragonbane. Dragonbane is just such a unique and fun game to rock. So I really kind of put them as 1 and 1A, and a lot of times. Actually, I'm ending my Dragonbane as I'm not looking at the camera as I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I have to open up numbers to see what my ending my Dragonbane campaign. We have one little adventure to do. I think everybody's going to die because they're not good at scoping out traps. And after that, we're going to go to Tales of Argosa for our online campaign, and I'm psyched to play that game because that game's awesome. To the people in chat, what's your favorite game right now? Hey, everybody answer that question while I'm talking about when my ICRPG is. ICRPG, it's got to be on here, right? Chris, you're going to be angry at me. No, I do. I already did it. I already did my ICRPG. It's scheduled to come out on January 13th, but I already created it. So I knew I put that on the list. So I'll tell you what I have coming up. I have to go back and do Coriolis the Great Dark, but I haven't even opened the book yet, so I might move that down. Dave Ward's Ironbound, Dave Ward's Plaguebound, really fun games to make characters for. Savage Worlds, Crown and Skull. I have Gamma World First Edition on here. Then we're going with that. Oh, Mr. Blawface is here. How you doing? I'm going to have to make a Dark Space character. It's going to be fun. Dolmenwood has already been done. That's one of your favorite games. I have Mutant Future from Goblinoid Games. Nobody knows about that one anymore. The Strange, which is another Cipher System game. Swords and Wizardry, Brindlewood Bay, Dark Places and Demogorgons, Forbidden Lands, and Low Life 2090. So that's good. Dolmenwood is a really cool game. Really cool game. I'm actually going to be running a one-shot of that in February with my first group that I played with when I got back to the hobby. That should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I got a lot of games that I'm still making characters for. And I've never made a Crown and Skull character. I've only made a few Savage Worlds characters. Never made Brindlewood Bay. Have done Forbidden Lands. Never done Low Life 2090. So, this should be fun. Someone is selling it at Page. I need to buy it. Dolmenwood? I think Exalted Funeral is going to be there. Want me to look up for you really quick, guys? Let's see. Actually, I could probably just do it and let you see. Let's go over to... Yeah, Neil, I forgot. I actually forgot you were going to to Paige, man. It's going to be good to see you. Let's go to Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. There we go. Attend. Let's see. Exhibitors and sponsors. Is Exalted Funeral going to be there? I want to run Gods of the Forbidden North for OC in the future. That'd be fun. I know some of the folks from Exalted Funeral is going to be there. They are not going to be there. I know the Tiger Wizard's going to be there, but they're not going to be one of the people who are presenting. Sorry. I'm sure somebody will have it because it's awesome. It's so I read that book in like a day, and I was surprised because I'm like, it's BX. I know the engine, although they changed to a D6 skill resolution, which I thought was fantastic. So I was like, I know the system, but they just added so much dang flavor to it. It is so cool. I haven't even read the setting book yet. That's got to come pretty soon. I need to read Land of Eames setting book too. What character you're creating? I made a glaive. You want to see it? I'll go back. I should be able to still get into it. Hopefully the cookie didn't die. Here it is. This is my glaive. Jack Blackthorn. He's a swift glaive. Tier 1 swift glaive. Why didn't it put its focus in? Who fights with panache. I have to put that in. Give me a second here. Furters? There we go. There we go. I put all the abilities in from Fights with Panache, but I didn't actually put that in as my focus. There we are. A swift glaive who fights with panache, played by DM Tales. That's what I got, man. Yeah, if you order it through the Exalted Funeral, you also get the PDFs, and I think that's fantastic. Or you can do bits and mortar and just make sure you go to a store that supports it. Unfortunately, my favorite store that I buy my Monty cookbooks for in local, they aren't part of bits and mortar, and that's really annoying. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I am officially done. It's 10 o'clock. Do I have the Numenera core books? Oh, yes, I do. I don't have all of them, but I do have most of them. I got the base up here. I have one of the bestiaries print, Voices of the Datasphere up there, a couple other ones. I have about 6 more down here that I got. A local used bookstore was selling like 20 books. So I got, let's see, I got Edge of the Sun, Break the Horizon, which is the one on traveling. This is actually a really good book. And Vertices, which is an adventure book that I won't be using for a while because I have my players all in my my homebrew place called The Hedge right now. So it's so fun. I love this game. The campaign PDF is such a breeze to use. Cool. Yeah, Numenera. I love running it. It is really one of my favorite systems to run. It is my in-person game right now, and it's so great. Very, very good. I'm trying to figure out what else do I have from Numenera. What do I have down here? I have like all these books on here that I moved. No, I don't remember what I got. There's like 4 more books over there. So I have to read them eventually. I got them for cheap. It made me happy. So yeah. So that's what I got, guys. So I'm done. I got to get back over. I want to go to Paige's Friday night live because they're going to be talking about the last kind of build up towards Paige next week. So hop over there if you can. And I am really appreciative of you all being here and for hanging out. This was a really good time. I'm surprised I got through this entire thing. This was an experiment because I have never done I'm just filling it out from blank in the Cypher system or Cypher Tools character builder, and it worked out pretty good. So kind of fun. So, all right, folks, you have a great weekend. And until we see each other again, happy playing, everybody, as I try to find where my mouse is to end the broadcast. See y'all later.